bow of the USS Missouri, sunrise is on the road for Veterans Day. And what better way to celebrate than to speak to a veteran himself? He served in the U.S. Navy for 35 years. He was the first person of Hawaiian descent to reach the Vice Admiral status in the Navy. We want to say good morning to Robert Kihune.
Good morning, Grace.
It's good to have you here.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, we wanted to start with your role in bringing the USS Missouri to Pearl Harbor. Tell me a little bit about the history.
Well, I started on the board in 1995, and at that time the board was already formed, and I was doing the ceremony for when President Clinton came here for the end of World War II, the ceremony, the 50th year of the anniversary. But anyway, I joined the board, and when the board got the Missouri in the competition, it arrived in June of 1998. And I was surprised that the board asked me to become the president and CEO at that time because the ship was in terrible condition and we had to get the ship ready to open to visitors by January 29th of 1999, just 6 months away.
This was a long road for you and for many key players in not only getting the ship to Pearl Harbor, but then turning it into a memorial that visitors could come to on a daily basis.
It was a very difficult time because we had 6 months to open the gates because we couldn't just let it sit here. We owed money to a lot of people and had to pay the bills. And we had a staff that was only about 10 people. So we went out to all the people in Hawaii and asked for volunteers. We had an overwhelming response. We had over 1,000 people to come over here to paint the ship, clean the ship up, and we made it on the 29th of January and opened the doors for the first time.
And those volunteers continue to be a huge part of this operation because this is a nonprofit.
Yes, and we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the volunteers because they provide a lot of manpower to ensure that all the ship is maintained and repaired and whatever else you have to do.
Well, I think you're very humble in saying that it was just the volunteers because I know you had a key role in bringing it here. But what I wanted to talk to you about is you spent 35 years in the Navy and the USS Missouri had a special place in your heart because you got your third star here on deck.
Yes, the Missouri was my flagship when I took over as the commander of the Naval Surface Forces of the Pacific Fleet in San Diego. And I pinned my third star right on board this ship. So it is a special ship for me.
And you continue to visit it?
I continue to visit it, continue to work it, and I'll be stepping down from the board after nearly 20 years and spending 12 years as a chairman of the board of the Missouri Association.
I know you keep telling me how much time you spent in the Navy and on the board, and I just can't believe it. You look too young.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, we are so glad that we were able to talk to you and hear the story of how the Missouri became a memorial. We want to thank you, former Vice Admiral Robert Kihune, for joining us today.
Thank you, Grace.
All right, we will continue our show Sunrise on the Road in just a few minutes from now.